5 TradingView buy and sell signal systems ranked from lowest to highest score. Clear breakdowns of what each one actually does, where the logic holds up, and whether any of them are worth adding to your charts. Viprasol Elite FLOOP Pro, created by Viprasol, is a multi-component overlay combining trend, following, supply and demand zone detection, volume filtering, and signal generation into a single tool. The name leans into premium branding, but the underlying code is more considered than the aesthetic packaging suggests. The trend engine uses an adaptive moving average, with 3 selectable modes. Fast uses a half-length EMA, adaptive blends fast and slow EMAs arithmetically, and smooth applies Hull MA. An ATR-based cloud surrounds the result, with color shifting dynamically based on price position relative to the bands. Supply and demand zones are built from pivot highs and lows, anchored to the body of the swing bar rather than the full wick, auto-extended rightward, and deleted when price closes through them. Up to 10 active zones per side are maintained before the oldest is dropped. Signals require zone rejection with a strong candle body, confirmed trend state, optional volume filter, and a minimum bar gap between signals. In conservative mode, the trend counter must exceed 3 and 12 bars, must separate successive signals, which reduces noise in trending environments, but can miss fast reversals entirely. Real-time rejection detection uses a current bar candle type check, meaning signals can repaint before bar close, unless the confirmation filter is active. Fixed ATR targets at 2 times and 1 times from entry do not account for structural levels that may sit closer than those distances, limiting mechanical exit usefulness. The zone construction and trend confirmation stack are solid for a public indicator, and the auto cleanup mechanics show genuine thought about practical chart management. Real-time rejection detection introduces repainting risk that careful traders will want to verify, and fixed ATR targets without structural awareness limit the tool for anyone managing exits actively. Support and resistance, and EMA crossovers with alerts. Built by Kieran Reddy 0929, this dual-purpose indicator that identifies support and resistance levels using pivot detection, while simultaneously tracking EMA crossovers for trend signals. The support and resistance calculation uses left and right bar look-back periods to find pivot highs and lows, with volume threshold filtering to distinguish significant breaks from weak violations. The EMA system uses 3 periods, short-term at 5, medium-term at 12, and long-term at 34. The visual signals include 4 distinct patterns. Uptrend labels appear when the 5 EMA crosses above the 12 EMA, and downtrend labels when it crosses below. Buy signals fire when the 12 EMA crosses above the 34 EMA, and sell signals when it crosses below. Support and resistance breaks get marked with small B labels, when accompanied by volume spikes above the threshold. Bull wick and bear wick labels identify rejection wicks that close back above resistance or below support. You can trade the EMA crossover signals as primary entries, using the nearest support or resistance level as your stop loss. Another approach treats the support and resistance breaks as entries, but only when aligned with the EMA trend direction. For example, taking resistance breaks only when EMAs show an uptrend. The wick rejection labels can serve as reversal signals or warnings to tighten stops on existing positions. The combination of trend signals and structural levels is practical, and the volume-filtered breaks add value. However, the indicator doesn't bring anything particularly innovative. It's a competent implementation of standard techniques, but without unique mechanics, that would make it superior to existing alternatives. Sniper entry and exit with stop loss and take profit, created by Consob version 2.0, is a trend following and trade management indicator built around EMA crossovers as its primary signal trigger. It takes a practical toolkit approach, combining widely used indicators into a scoring system and trade setup engine that attempts to consolidate the decision-making process into a single overlay. The core signal is straightforward. When EMA 9 crosses above EMA 21, a long signal fires. When it crosses below, a short triggers. From that point, the indicator calculates stop loss and 5 take profit levels using ATR 14 as the risk unit. The stop is placed 1.5 times ATR from entry by default, and targets are stacked at 1 through 5 times that same risk distance, updating labels in real time and marking hit targets visually. Layered on top is a dual scoring system built from 7 conditions each for bullish and bearish bias, including price position relative to VWAP, RSI, on both the current time frame and a hard-coded 5-minute time frame, MACD line direction, EMA alignment, ADX strength, and volume relative to its 20-period average. Results are expressed as a percentage and simplified into 4 bias states displayed in a left-side dashboard, alongside 16 rows of live market data. For traders who want a single place to read conditions without jumping between panels, that dashboard is genuinely useful. In trending environments with clear momentum, the confluence stack behind each signal is reasonable. The ATR-based target ladder also adapts to volatility automatically, which prevents the problem of fixed values becoming irrelevant as conditions shift. However, EMA crossovers are inherently lagging, and entering at the crossover point often means the favorable portion of the move has already passed. There is no dynamic stop trail or break-even logic, so position management beyond identifying the target levels is entirely manual. The packaging is clean and the dashboard is informative, but EMA crossover signals are among the most lagging entry methods available, which limits edge in competitive markets. The lack of dynamic stop management and the inflexible 5-minute RSI input are practical gaps that more experienced traders will feel immediately. FLOOP Pro, created by the Real Drip to Rip, is a trend-following signal indicator built around a range filter as its core detection engine, layered with multiple confluence checks, multi-time frame alignment, and an optional pivot level system. The name stands for finally long or obviously panicking, which at least tells you something about the intended audience. The range filter calculates an ATR-based threshold, scaled by a sensitivity input, then trails price by that amount in whichever direction it is moving. When the filter changes direction, a raw signal fires. That signal then passes through 3 separate gates before reaching the chart: an EMA alignment check, an ADX filter requiring trend strength above a set threshold, and a choppiness index filter that blocks signals when the market is range-bound. A cool-down period prevents repeated signals within a set number of bars. Signals that fail any gate are shown as small crosses rather than full labels, giving visibility into what is being filtered out. The signal strength score runs from 0 to 14, combining multi-time frame range filter alignment across 5 time frames, EMA and momentum scoring, sensitivity cross-checks at fixed values of 3, 5, 12, and 16, volatility rank, and the higher time frame bias. Scores of 11 and above are flagged as high quality, with dedicated alert conditions for those set up specifically. Pivot levels are a separate but integrated feature, supporting classic, Fibonacci, and Camarilla formulas across a user-defined time frame. Levels change color dynamically when price breaks through them, which adds practical reference without requiring a separate indicator. In real trading use, the multi-gate filtering approach is the strongest part of the indicator. Blocking signals during low ADX and high choppiness conditions meaningfully reduces whipsaw entries that a raw range filter would otherwise produce. The layered filtering system is well thought out, and the signal strength scoring gives traders a basis for selectivity rather than taking every signal blindly. The pivot integration is a genuine bonus. The ML references in the tooltips and comments are unverified marketing language rather than documented methodology, which is worth noting before placing weight on those specific claims. Quick one. Big update. QR Pro 2.2 is live. Auto support and resistance, range filter, swing stops, real-time P and L. Link in the description. Created by Zierman, this Pine script indicator transforms intraday charts into hourly session-based trading environments through dynamic open-level tracking, retest identification, and multi-time frame context integration. The system operates by plotting 1-hour and 4-hour opening prices as either lines or zones, while simultaneously tracking price behavior around these levels to identify reversal and continuation setups. The core methodology centers on hourly session opens as support and resistance levels, with the system automatically drawing these levels at each hour and 4-hour interval. The zone feature creates price bands around opens, using percentage-based deviations, providing flexibility for different volatility environments. The retest mechanism identifies when price returns to these levels after initial rejection, marking potential entry points with triangle markers. Volume filtering ensures only retests with above-average participation are highlighted, reducing noise in choppy conditions. The system performs well during active trading sessions, where institutional activity creates respect for hourly opens. The retest functionality captures support-resistance dynamics, as algorithmic traders and institutions often defend or challenge these levels. The higher timeframe candle display provides context for trend direction, while the hourly average line helps identify whether current price is above or below the session mean. The percentage change table offers performance metrics across multiple timeframes, enabling assessment of momentum alignment. Strategic implementation works best on 1 to 5 minute timeframes, where the hourly structure provides meaningful support-resistance context. Traders can use zone width adjustments to accommodate different asset volatilities. The retest counter prevents overtrading by limiting signals per session, while volume filtering adds confluence for entry timing. However, the system becomes unreliable during low-volume periods, when hourly opens lack institutional significance. Weekend cryptocurrency markets or holiday sessions often produce false signals as participation drops. The multiple visual elements can create information overload for newer traders. Strong performer for practical application. Time-based levels align with institutional trading patterns. Retest logic captures market behavior, and the system adapts to different volatility environments. The multi-timeframe context reduces directional errors, while volume filtering reduces false signals. It works consistently across Forex, equities, and crypto because institutional activity respects hourly opens universally. In our previous video, we reviewed 10 SMC and market structure indicators. You can watch it here.